What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? Today's guest, it's a battle of the Beltway preseason week 3, but we're going to go into a bit of a 2025 big picture preview. It's the best in the business doing content creation for the Baltimore Ravens. Mr. Team, keep it clean, Engraven. How you doing today, big dog?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate you having me on. How you doing?
Absolutely. I'm wonderful, man. I'm wonderful. We're getting closer to football. Fall air is going to be hitting real soon. So I'm feeling phenomenal right now on this Friday. The third week of the preseason used to be something fun. It used to be a dress rehearsal for the regular season, but now it's kind of the roster bubble players who want to crack those last spots of the 53 game. Before what exactly are you looking forward to in this preseason game tomorrow?
Exactly what you said. Guys who are really trying to make not only the rosters of the teams that they're on, but guys know in the front and the back of their minds that a lot of them are not going to make the team. Like teams have 90 players right now, and they got to get down to 53, and then there's 16 for the practice squad. So that's not many spots left. And most teams already got their guys who are going to be their guys. They just got to fill in some depth pieces. So a lot of guys tomorrow not just playing for the teams that they own, but they playing for the possibility of 31 other teams that are going to be watching the games too. Just to seeing the effort that they give, just to seeing what they put out there on film, and just to really seeing what they can do, whether it be offense, defense, special teams, or whatever. But what I'm looking forward to tomorrow is just guys who maybe not even necessarily on the bubble, but guys who you may question, oh, is he going to make the roster? Does he have a spot? Yeah, he probably does. But you know what? Let's give this one last outing, the third preseason game, the last one, and let's see what he's got. For the Baltimore Ravens, guys specifically like undrafted rookie free agent Jay Higgins from Iowa. He was one of the best linebackers in college last year. He didn't get drafted, but he's been balling for the Ravens. It's crazy because you don't hear a lot about him in practice, but in games, he be showing up. And that's where it counts the most. Another undrafted rookie free agent named Ruben Lowry. He's a cornerback, but he also plays safety. So that makes him that much more valuable. And he's one that's been making plays both in practice and in the games as well. So the fact that he's been doing that, and Ravens have had some cornerback injuries on the back end of their depth, that helps him out a lot, and that really gives him a chance to make the roster. So I expect to see him out there a lot. Now, a name who we're going to see tomorrow, who I'm sure you're very familiar with, is Cooper Rush.
Oh, very.
Unfortunately. A lot of Ravens fans are not the most thrilled with Cooper Rush. He's our primary backup quarterback, and he'll probably play like a half of the game tomorrow. But with Cooper Rush, we just want to see better from him. But I think it's important that Ravens fans just don't trip too much off of whatever Cooper Rush puts out there, because he's a backup. Like, we get so caught up with the backup quarterback conversation because, I mean, we want to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. But at the same time, they ain't no Lamar Jackson, man. Lamar Jacksons ain't just walking around everywhere. And I mean, y'all can say the same thing for Jaden Daniels. I'm sure whoever the backup quarterback is for the Commanders, like, he ain't Jaden Daniels. So it's like when you and they're not want to say, I don't want to say they're the backup for a reason, because I don't want to be disrespectful towards them. But your QB1 is your QB1 for a reason. So they are special in their own right. Now, with us, with Lamar Jackson, a lot of Ravens fans can subconsciously compare the backup quarterback to Lamar Jackson. Oh, why he ain't doing this? Why he can't do that? Oh, man, this guy, and it's like, that's not fair to them, man.
It isn't.
And again, they're the backup. So we don't expect to have to see them in the game, like, unless the Ravens are like blowing somebody out, because that has happened a lot in Lamar Jackson's tenure, where the Ravens are just they crushing somebody, and then they end up just sitting Lamar for the end of the third or the entire fourth quarter. So then we see the backup quarterback. But it's just, it's not a fair comparison. But we're gonna see a lot of Cooper Rush tomorrow. Somebody else who I would expect to see a lot would be running back Rasheen Ali. He was a draft pick for the Baltimore Ravens last year. He didn't really, in my opinion, he didn't really look too good. But this year he's looked a lot better. He's looked a lot smoother. He's looked a lot more confident. And hey, sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes you just got to have more reps, and you just got to have that experience. And he didn't have much experience last year, but this year he's been looking a lot better. And what I'm also interested to see, because the game is tomorrow, cut down day is Tuesday.
Yep.
Guys, and like we talked about earlier, guys are playing to be on other teams as well. So trades are happening, as you've seen. There've been a lot of trades
Hyper
going on.
speed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been getting a little crazy. So again, this is guys' audition. This is their audition tape for them 31 other spots. But at the same time, on the flip side of that, what sucks about it is because it's a tough business. A lot of these guys after tomorrow, they will never play another snap in the NFL again.
Nope.
Not a single one. So guys are literally playing for their dream job, their dream career of playing in the National Football League. And some people will achieve that goal, and a lot of others won't.
And interesting you brought up the Cooper Rush thing because I was definitely going to ask you. That's not the archetype of backup you would think that would be behind Lamar Jackson. Like, for example, our backup is Marcus Mariota. While he's not Jaden Daniels, once upon a time, he was Jaden Daniels. He was coming into the league, second overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner, and has the mobile dual threat type archetype. Cooper Rush is the antithesis of Lamar Jackson. So did you really scratch your head a little bit when y'all made that signing, or you just said, you know what, it's the backup. So I'm not mad at having a different type of player than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I was cool with it. I ain't had no problem with it at all. With Cooper Rush, thinking his career, he went 9-5, I believe, but he's had a lot of experience starting, having to come in and take over for Dak because Dak missed a good amount of time over the years. So I wasn't tripping off of that. And a lot of times when people look at backup quarterbacks, they think, all right, it needs to be the same exact kind of quarterback as the first quarterback. Well, not necessarily. But I can see why when people say that, because you would think like, hey, it's easier for the offense to continue to be the offense that it is with the starting quarterback versus the backup quarterback. But again, with Lamar, it's like Lamar's Lamar. But it almost with the offense, because it would obviously change because there's not the threat of Lamar Jackson is not the same threat as Cooper Rush. But the offense will certainly change. So it could even be not necessarily harder to go against, but just different when it comes to game planning for a Cooper Rush versus Lamar Jackson. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder, a lot more difficult, and Lamar Jackson presents a whole lot more stuff than a Cooper Rush can. But there's that change. But yeah, I ain't had no problem with it at all. I was cool with it.
Yeah, I totally understand. And as a person, I always like to say, like, fans get way too worked up over backup. Like tomorrow, we're going to see Sam Hartman and Josh Johnson play to battle it out to be the emergency. I know Josh Johnson's played for every team twice at this point of his career. That's what we're going to see for 4 quarters tomorrow. And our fans are losing their mind over who the emergency quarterback's going to be. We don't have to worry about this anymore. I say a backup, and a backup's backup is like a luxury spare tire. It's a donut. It's a donut. You don't need the donut to try to take you through the season, but it can get you from point A to point B safely.
I like that.
You'll be riding hubcap trying to depend on that for a full year.
You ain't lying, man.
Yeah, fans get a little worked up over it, but per usual, the Ravens had another Baltimore Ravens draft. You guys' ecosystem from Ozzie down to DeCosta, y'all just do things right over there. You get the most Baltimore Ravens ever pick in the first round, Malachi Starks. How has his summer and spring been so far?
Man, it's crazy because you just keep hearing so much good stuff about him from coaching staff, but then to the players as well. Zay Flowers, about a month and a half ago, he said, "Hey, that boy Malachi Starks, he is really like that. Y'all gonna see once he get in it. Once you see that game film, he's really like that." And we have seen it. We keep hearing about him making a lot of plays in practice, but then in the preseason games, because he's played in both preseason games so far, but which I very, very much appreciate from John Harbaugh. Malachi Starks has played in one series in the preseason game. Then Harbaugh's like, all right, that's enough. We just seen enough. Second preseason game, he played in one series, and that was enough. We never saw him again. So I'm like, hey, I'm cool with that. I love that. So I don't mind waiting to really see him come week 1 against the Buffalo Bills. But with Malachi Starks, just his instincts, how fluid he is with his hips. There was a play, the play that he made, and it's crazy because in both games where he's only been in for one series, he's made plays in both of them. But against the Cowboys, I'm sure you would appreciate this, especially being a Commanders fan. But against the Cowboys, their receiver, he was dropping back, he was backpedaling, and then he thought the play was going to the right, so he started going to the right. But then he seen that the ball was going. The play it was going to the quarterback's left, the left side of the field. He thought it was the quarterback was throwing there, but the quarterback was going the opposite way. So he just transitioned and closing on a receiver, whacked the receiver, forced an incompletion. It was a beautiful thing. It was really, really nice to see, and that was his last play of that game because I believe it was on a third down. But they took him out after that. So he's just been consistent. And that's what you want to hear out of a rookie. So many people continue to say, I know Roquan Smith, he said, man, I wish that where he is as a rookie, that I was there when I was a rookie, because they feel like he's just so far ahead of his game and so far ahead of his years. So I'm just really excited to see that on Sunday. Ravens have done a lot to their secondary this offseason, as they should have, because last year was, we went through it in the secondary early on in the season. It was all kinds of bad. But they done not even necessarily a revamping, but just really a retooling of the secondary. Because we already had Marlon Humphrey. We drafted Nate Wiggins last year. To go from Brandon Stevens to Jair Alexander. They also added Chidobe Awuzie. And then we got some other young guys who's looking to step up too, guys like TJ Tampa, Jalen Armour-Davis. Probably names that's not very popular outside of the Ravens fan base, but guys that we know from within that are really looking to take that jump this year. So, but yeah, with Malachi Starks, he's been fitting right in, and we're looking forward to seeing him in week 1.
That's just such a Ravens pick. Like the only thing missing was him going to Alabama, but that just such a Baltimore Ravens pick. And then the rich get richer. I see this with my division rival in the Eagles right now, where some talent that has no business getting to you always finds its way in your building. Probably the most talented edge rusher, not named Abdul Carter, in the whole class, falls to the Baltimore Ravens in the second round. What has Mike Green's development looked like so far?
It's been the same thing. Same thing as Malachi Starks. I always say with Mike Green, he's a bonus first round pick. But with Mike Green, same thing. We hear about him in practice all the time. They said he picked off Cooper Rush in practice, and they said it would have been a pick 6. But they say he's just been all around the quarterback in practice. He just looks really, really good. But then in the games, the first preseason game against the Colts, he is just a game wrecker, man. He was all over the quarterbacks. I think he got a sack in that first preseason game too against the Colts. And then in the second game against the Cowboys, while he did not get a sack, he helped get a safety on. Is it Joe Milton? I think it's Joe Milton.
Joe Milton.
But yeah, he helped get a safety on him because he occupied their left tackle from him just being a crazy edge rusher, man. He has just been, he got it, man. He really, really got it. And you could tell like he is going to be very, very special. Our pass rusher, our top pass rusher is probably Odafe Oweh. And a lot of Ravens fans are sort of 50-50 on him, obviously hoping for the best for him. But with Odafe Oweh, when he came out of college, he was very, very raw. He was not productive in college whatsoever. He hadn't really even played football too long, but he's very, very raw. The Ravens drafted him in the first round based off of what he could be. They based it off of how athletically gifted he was. He like 6'5". He ran like, I think, a 4.4, something crazy like that. But so I remember Justin Houston, our old outside linebacker, he called Odafe Oweh a created Madden player. He said that's what he seemed like. But it took him some time to get going. Early on in his career is a little bit underwhelming a bit, but it's taken him some time to get going. And last year he got 10 sacks, so that was nice for him. And then this year, especially with it being his contract year, we expect him to really turn it up a notch. But the reason why we're so excited for Mike Green is because with Mike Green, he's somebody that is not raw. He's somebody that did produce in college. And so him coming out, and we're thinking about the way that we saw Odafe Oweh develop into what he is now. For Mike Green, it should be even easier and even faster development for him. So we're super excited to see what he could do.
I know. And man, Mike Green, man, that's such a talented player. I was banging the table for him at 29. And clearly, if an organization as clean as the Baltimore Ravens, for the most part, took a chance on him, then there's nothing to be concerned about for the off-field as of right now. And speaking of off-field, y'all had one of the greatest kickers in the history of this league. He was an absolute shell of himself last season on the field, and it turned out off the field as well. And y'all are now transitioning into a new special teams leader in your organization. How's that going so far?
Hey, it started off shaky, man. Tyler Loop, they drafted Tyler Loop in the 6th round this year, and it started off really shaky. But he's somebody that as time has progressed, he's gotten better and better. And like OTAs and minicamp, he was missing a lot of field goals. But then training camp started, and he started making a lot more field goals. He started being a lot more consistent overall. Then we got into the games, the preseason games. First preseason game, he had missed his first one. We were like, oof. But then he made his second one. And I think it was important that he finished the game making his last field goal going into the second week of training camp, because that gave him a confidence boost. The Baltimore Ravens, they said that it was a kicking competition early on because they had brought in an undrafted rookie free agent kicker named John Hoyland, but they cut him before preseason started. So the only kicker we had on the team was Tyler Loop. So there was no competition at all. So again, they've been doing a lot of little things to give him more confidence boost, because that's a tough act to follow. We know obviously there's some strong allegations off the field, but on the field overall, his entire body of work on the field for Justin Tucker is Hall of Fame worthy. He was one of the best kickers in the NFL for a very, very long time. I know last year and really for the past couple of years, he's sort of been on this downward trend. But he overall does have an extremely impressive body of work. But with Tyler Loop, he's got to follow that. And they're like, the Ravens are not a team who, all right, we could work with you because we're in a rebuilding phase. All right, hey, you got some time because we retooling this thing. No, like this team it's been like this. It's been Super Bowl or bust. And obviously the past couple of years, it's been bust because we've been falling up short. But with Tyler Loop, that's a lot of pressure, man. It's a whole lot of pressure for him. But again, like last game, I think he made 5 out of 6 field goals. So
that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
It really is. So I expect to see a lot of him in tomorrow's game, and obviously during the regular season as well. But I'm nervous for him because again, you got to follow up to Justin Tucker, and you're gonna be asked like, "Hey, you need to deliver right away." We've seen games just last year, and we see it throughout the entire NFL. Games are won and lost. You hear about games are won and lost in the trenches, which they are. That makes a big difference. But your kicker can cost you a game. They can win you a game. They can cost you a game too. And we have firsthand experience with that certainly last year too, with Justin Tucker. So I obviously rooting for Tyler Loop. Hope that he goes out there and crushes it, and he gets those whatever jitters he has out early. But it's just a lot of pressure on him like crazy.
Oh, a lot, because some people would debate if Justin Tucker is the best kicker of all time. Those are the Tom Brady of kickers just left an organization. Those are big shoes to fill. We had 7 kickers last year. I don't wish kicker musical chair on anybody. I hope that Luke ends up. We had 7. We had like 4 before the season and 3 during the season. And the last one that stuck around ended up winning us a playoff game. So it was a wild year in DC last year for sure. I need an injury update. I got a fantasy draft coming up next weekend. Do I have anything to worry about with Lamar Jackson and Isaiah Likely?
Isaiah Likely, yes. Lamar Jackson, I would think not. But with Lamar Jackson, it was weird because yesterday and 2 days ago in practice, it was just a lot of conflicting reports because first we saw, Lamar Jackson, he fell down and he was holding his wrist in his hand, and his wrist in his hand was bothering him. But then they said a team spokesman said, Lamar Jackson, he got his foot stepped on. But everything's okay. And then the following day, we didn't see him at practice. We're like, is everything really okay? But then John Harbaugh came out and said, no, everything's good with Lamar. We had x-rays on his foot. They came back negative, so he'll be good. So we think, okay, the foot's good. But we heard so many reporters, they were saying he was holding his wrist and his hand was bothering him. So we haven't heard anything about that. So we just waiting to see Lamar Jackson back in practice. It's like Ravens fans, we are very we can be very pessimistic when it comes to injury updates. Even though John Harbaugh, for the past couple of years, when he lets us know something, he has been on point with it. So leaning on the side of trusting his word, but still, with this being Lamar Jackson, like this is our season right there. That's the guy that controls everything. So we we could be a little pessimistic when it comes to stuff like that, because for us, seeing is believing, and we want to see Lamar Jackson out there. So once we see him out there, then it'll be like, oh, okay, all right, he's back. So we're just waiting on that. But I think that you should be good for your draft next week.
Okay, Lamar Jackson, man, I love the guy, and I think obviously politics and everything plays a part in these conversations. He had the best season of his career last year and should have had a back-to-back MVP in the third of his career. Right. I hate that he didn't get the MVP trophy last year.
Oh, we do too, yeah.
I know y'all got to be sick about it. And then the person he lost the MVP to happened to be the team that y'all lost to in the playoffs that ended the season last year, the Buffalo Bills. What exactly went wrong in that game? Because y'all are a juggernaut in the regular season every year. And it's not like y'all fall off a cliff, but somehow y'all aren't getting it done to take it to that next step. What happened in that playoff game versus Buffalo?
I think it's the same thing that keeps happening in these playoff games. It's the turnovers. The Ravens, and what's so frustrating about the Ravens is that they will lose these playoff games by 1-2 points, by 7 points. They'll lose these playoff games by one score. It's always one score. They never get blown out the building. They never get ran off the field. It's always one score games. But when you look back at the playoff games and you're like, man, they keep turning that ball over. And if you take away one of them turnovers, you take away two of them turnovers, then you think like, oh my goodness, what could have been? Because again, it's always these close games. Last year against the Buffalo Bills, there was one play where Tyler Linderbaum, our center, he snapped the ball a little too high, so Lamar had to jump up and get it. And what's crazy about that, Lamar fumbled on that play. He fumbled on the play. And then Von Miller, he scooped it up. Thank goodness for Justice Hill, because he's the one that stopped Von Miller from scoring. So on that play, I'm sure you probably seen it on Twitter, I've seen it on YouTube. It was a game last year, regular season, against the Bengals, where Lamar made one of the craziest plays to where the ball got snapped a little high, or no, it got snapped low, and he dropped it. He sort of fumbled it and dropped it, but he picked it up, did a little scrambling around, made some people miss. Made Sam Hubbard end up retiring after that year because Sam Hubbard tried to get him, and he threw it. Isaiah Likely touchdown. It was one of my favorite plays that I ever seen ever. Definitely my favorite play from last year. But it was such an amazing play, and we've seen Lamar Jackson make those plays a lot, where it starts off like, what's going on? Oh, this ain't gonna be good. Ooh, yikes! But then it turns into, okay, let's go, baby. So I'm sure he was thinking, because a lot of people are like, oh man, Lamar should have just held on to the ball. He should have just dived on the ball. He should have just let the play go. But I'm sure Lamar's thinking like, I done made plays off of this stuff all the time.
He got magic in him.
Yeah, this is what I do. So I can understand why he tried to keep that play alive, but it didn't go good on that play. So he fumbled and we lost the ball. Turnover. Another turnover was an interception on a play that was intended for Rashad Bateman. And a lot of us were confused on what was going on. Like, Lamar Jackson, where were you thought? Because it wasn't even close to Rashad Bateman. But we ended up finding out during the offseason that Rashad Bateman ran the wrong route. I said, ooh. So that was tough. But then in the second half, things got cleaned up. Lamar Jackson, he played lights out football that second half. But then Mark Andrews, things got rough for him. Because Mark Andrews.
The drop too.
But even before the drive before that, Lamar Jackson threw it to him. Mark Andrews caught it, was getting some yak, and he cut back. He tried to make somebody miss, and boop, they knocked that ball out. Fumble.
I don't know what he was thinking there. Like, I don't know where Mark Andrews thought he had wiggle from, but he was trying to get loose in the open field, and man, that was so unfortunate.
Yeah, it was tough. And then, of course, like you brought up, that the drop, that hurt bad, because I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. We going to over, but no, man, we not going to no overtime, man. He dropped the ball, perfect pass right in the chest. Oh man, that hurt so bad. It was tough, man. But it's been a lot of the same stuff with the Ravens, because they're right there. But like you said, in the regular season, juggernaut of a team. They be steamrolling a lot of opponents. They're taking care of business. They healthy. They winning, always winning at least 12 games. A lot of times 13, 14, but at least 12 games off rip if they healthy and doing what they do. But it's very important that they carry that to the postseason. Now last year, again, the offense in the postseason was against the Steelers. They did our thing, which was great. The running game was going crazy and whatnot, but against the Bills, they struggled a bit. But what the Bills did, the Bills, they weren't playing their offense wasn't sexy, anything like that. They weren't making all these downfield plays or anything like. They were very, very patient. And what they did was wait for the Ravens to end up crumbling. And the Ravens end up doing that. The Bills just sat back. They just played some conservative football. They were not doing anything crazy at all. But they waited for the Ravens to make the mistake. And that's exactly what the Baltimore Ravens ended up doing. So we got to stop making those mistakes because, like I said earlier, these games are they're not blowouts. Ravens are losing by that much. So once they fix the turnovers by the offense in the playoffs, and another thing too, which again, I'm sure you would not necessarily appreciate this, but you understand about it. You see a team like the Eagles with Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. I think he's a really good quarterback. But and not to take anything away from him, but I do feel like if Lamar Jackson was on the Eagles, they'd still be a Super Bowl team. If Joe Burrow was on the Eagles, they still a Super Bowl team. If Josh Allen, obviously Patrick Mahomes, but Jaden Daniels, I think he was on it. But I think so. With the Eagles, the way, and you talked about it earlier too, how it just seemed like all these people, they fall to them. They always trading for somebody. They building these crazy super teams. Mm-hmm. But with the Eagles, what I really respect about what they do with Jaden Daniels, he ain't got to be perfect. Whether it's regular season, whether it's playoffs, he can afford to throw a pick because the defense that's okay. Not Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, yeah.
Yeah, they can be, that's okay, Jalen. We got you. We're going to get the ball back. They can afford to turn. If Saquon Barkley decided, you know what? I'm going to fumble this drive out, whatever. Defense, Saquon, that's cool. We got your back. With the Ravens defense, they've been good, but they haven't been like that in the playoffs to where the Ravens can afford to turn the ball over in the playoffs. And obviously, you don't want no turnovers at all. But with the Ravens, their turnovers are a lot more costly than some other teams come playoff time. Obviously, any turnover in the playoffs is costly, but we don't have that like the Eagles. I mean, hopefully, the way that the Ravens built the team this year, hopefully we can have that. I mean, it's still don't want no turnovers at all. But if that is the case, we just want the defense to be able to get that ball back for the offense. So that's just been something that those are the reasons that I see that the Ravens have been losing and coming up short in the playoffs. Now, I will say, we've been hearing a lot this offseason. All right, Ravens this year, they ain't got no excuses. We've been hearing that a lot this offseason. Ravens ain't had no excuses.
I know, but it's been a minute.
Last couple of years, there ain't been no excuses at all. We had a great team last year. We had a great team the previous year before that too. They've been out of excuses. Like ain't no excuses at all. So again, this is another year where we want them to get it done. They have everything that they need to get it done. They've had everything that they've needed to get it done, but they just ain't get it done yet. So hopefully this will be the year where they finally get over that hump and cross that finish line.
I hope it is the year because Lord knows I'm tired of seeing the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. We want to see something new. We want to see something new in a talent as special and generational as Lamar Jackson. I need to see that on the biggest scale. The world needs to see it, and the league and the culture needs to see a battle of the Beltway at some point. Hey. Jaden Daniels versus Lamar. I'm speaking it to existence, man.
I wouldn't be mad at that at all, man. I was because we had got knocked out by the time because y'all was in the NFC Championship last year. I was hoping y'all was gonna pull it off, and I felt bad for Jaden Daniels because watching that game, it was close early on, but Jaden Daniels, I felt like, man, like it seemed like he could only do so much.
It was just him
because he was driving down the field, and then I think somebody fumbled, and then I think it was another fumble, and the game it remained close, but then I think he just started unraveling like in the second half.
Three of them fumbles, not him either.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy. So he could only do so much, and then the game started. It started getting out of hand later on in the game. So I'm like, oh man, it's tough, man. It's tough. But what's up with But Scary Terry, I know he got activated and stuff, but what's up with Scary Terry? What's happening with him, man?
Man, Adam Peters he's putting up a very hard stance, and they're at an impasse. But we're at the point now where I think if something's not accepted in the next 7 to 10 days, Terry's going to have to play on this final year of his contract for around $23 million total. But I think we're going to get something done. He sees the bad business that the Steelers did, you guys' rival, with DK Metcalf, and says, I want more than that. And Adam Peters and company are saying, you're turning 30 this year. 30-year-old receivers do not negotiate contracts for over $30 million a year. We understand you're coming off a franchise record-setting touchdown season, but we're not doing that. And we're also preparing for this Jaden Daniels contract a couple years from now. So someone's going to have to budge, and most likely it's going to be Terry, because the team does hold contractual control. Like, he's still under contract for a year, and they can play the franchise tag game with him 2026 and beyond. But we need him out there because we finally have a running mate for him. Deebo Samuels looks phenomenal in camp this year. Our rookie fourth rounder, Jalen Lane out of Virginia Tech, is looking good. And this running back we took in the 7th round, he looks legit. You know, you hear 7th round running back, you're like, no, this kid, there's a reason why we're about to either trade or release Brian Robinson Jr. in the next couple days. But we went out and got Laramie Tunzel. We took Josh Connolly Jr. in the 1st round, which means we could free up last year's rookie tackle to be a guard now. We don't have any excuse. We went and picked up Von Miller to join the squad. He's ring chasing like D-Hop's doing with y'all.
Oh, yeah.
We have sights set on our title window opening for the first time. Why not a battle of the Beltway in Super Bowl 60 in Levi?
I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I would love that. That would be a lot of fun, man. And like you said for the culture for sure. Like Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson. That's for the culture for sure.
Oh my gosh, the culture would be. Oh my God, that would be amazing. That'd be phenomenal, and they would do a lot about a lot of quarterback conversations that have happened over the years, man.
You ain't lying.
My goodness.
No, that's real right there, man. That's real.
What it would mean to whoever won that game, man. But I appreciate you on very short notice for coming through, chopping it up. Like I told y'all, this is the best in the business doing this for the Baltimore Ravens, slowly approaching that 100K YouTube play button milestone, man. You probably be there by the end of the season, man. Let folks know about your content, brother.
Hey, appreciate you having me on again, man. Thank you, man. This was fun, as always. It seemed like we play each other like every year. Whether it's preseason, regular season, sometimes it's both. But no, I appreciate you, man. I'm happy for you. And I remember when all that stuff was happening with your channel. I'm glad you just got it back, man.
That was crazy.
Woo! Yeah, that's stressful right there, man. Yeah, but no, I'm happy for you, man. Keep doing your thing, man, and hope your Commanders do their thing this season as well, man. But yeah, you can find us. The channel is Engraven Viz. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. It's Engraven Viz. We post videos daily about whatever's going on with our Baltimore Ravens. Do our live game streams during the preseason and during the regular season as well. And then hopefully playoffs and Super Bowl. That'd be nice too. But yeah, man, we just keep people updated on everything going on with the Baltimore Ravens. It's Team Keep It Clean, so it's a family-friendly channel, so everybody's welcome to come through. But we have a good time on there. That's the biggest thing. We don't take nothing too seriously, and we just try to enjoy ourselves on there. So I appreciate you. Much love to you, and keep doing what you've been doing, man.
Hey, click that subscribe button on my guy. Let's get him to that 100K. I'm going to be there one day as well. But it's not going to be a Super Bowl preview tomorrow with Cooper Rush versus Sam Hartman, but potentially a Super Bowl preview of Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels for Super Bowl 60 at Levi Stadium. That's all I got for right now. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Commander Rio, out.